do I get notifications? Oh, you tagged me. That would explain it.
When we say here we go, you stop talking.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. I am your host, as always, Shosan, and damn am I happy to be here this week. I have some awesome, and illustrious set of co-hosts to bring you a fantastic episode. But of course, today, this is episode 149, which means next week, you guys have to tune in. We have some fantastic stuff coming at you. It's all in the works. But first, to start this week's episode, I'm going to introduce my awesome and illustrious set of co-hosts. Up first, the attention grabber himself has returned. Say hello, good sir.
Is my microphone on? Yes, it's on. Okay.
Yes. So
Hi.
professional.
Look at me. I'm in person now, not an anime character.
Oh god, I need to.
Show you failed your format miserably.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So being an asshole as always is, of course, Mr. Vegito.
Hi, guys. I'm just trying to keep it on track because I'm getting ready for next week.
Next week is going to be so
bad. Next week. Then we have a very special guest joining us this week, Mr. Squeega himself.
Squeega.
Hello. You know what? Call me whatever.
Pronunciation.
Squeega, I've heard. Just whatever. Hi.
But the kitten master.
Tomato.
Kitten master, yes.
Indeed. Then we have Mr. Runckley, returning as always.
As always. Normally,
not filling in though.
Host as always.
Right. Not filling in this week, fortunately. Then finally, we have Mr. Pantherian, who is sadly AFK. But he's back.
Doesn't look like AFK.
I've got the child is constantly waking up and going back to sleep, so I'm gonna have to run back and forth potentially tonight.
Unlike you, who's always awake.
Yeah. Damn children screws up gaming. I'll tell you what.
Just call me you guys. The man here in the dark.
Right. So let's go ahead and kick things off.
The ASMR guy.
Oh, God. Anyway, let's kick things off with my favorite part of the show, you guys. I love it. You know it. It's news.
I'm so glad you're news.
I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know. It's terrible when I don't do it. But anyway, you guys, we have some very interesting stuff to talk about this week. I did want to stop first with a post off Instagram from Pantherian here, with what I gotta say was not a very good game.
What is this even? I don't even know what this is.
What is this?
Your Instagram post that you put up.
The
Sleeping Dogs?
Oh, yeah. Sleeping Dogs is getting to be a movie, and Donnie Yen's going to be the main character, because Donnie Yen's awesome, and Sleeping Dogs was an okay game.
Sleeping Dogs wasn't that great, but he is a great actor. It should be kind of cool. I'd like to see this because it should be fairly action-packed. I mean, the game was. It's just sadly a lot of Grand Theft Auto ripoffs that I couldn't deal with. In my opinion.
Well, you don't get an opinion.
That's true.
Who's making the movie? Because if you say UE Bowl,
UE Bowl, right? Is that right? I don't know. I heard he makes really good video game adaptations. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to have a talk if you have that opinion, sir.
It's never failed him before.
I swear to God, if you also think Dragon Ball Evolution was a good movie, we need to have a talk.
It was brilliant. Oscar,
I will fucking stab you.
Oscar the Grouch's trash can, maybe.
Right.
Is that the one where Goku was played by a white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yep.
That's one where I think everyone's played by a white guy.
Except for Roshi, he was played by... I don't remember who Roshi was played by. He was some sort of... this thing's on my keyboard. Whatever. I'll forget about it.
The caliber of all the actors, it was just some guy. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, all right, now let's move on to some actual real news. And this one's actually particularly interesting. We are getting our very first female professional player in Overwatch League. Fan-freaking-tastic,
and I think it's no surprise who it is.
No, she's actually quite the legend.
Yes.
It's literally Miss, I'm going to kill this, Grigori.
Yep, you killed it.
Yeah. I don't know how
Ron,
to say it.
It doesn't even start with GR.
Okay, whatever.
Just threw an R in there. Just
She's a badass player. She really is.
Yeah, she came to prominence when she was accused by an actual a professional at the time of cheating, and there was all this hoopla over this. And
we talked about that.
Yeah, well, this was a while ago. We talked about this, and turned out that she was the real deal, and now she's going to be joining
the best part. He quit.
Shanghai. Yep, he quit. But she's going to be joining the Shanghai team, which hasn't been doing very well. We'll get to that later. But yeah, it's good to see some reputation. I just hope this doesn't go the way of Remy from League of Legends.
Oh, I know.
Because from my understanding, she just had problems from the fucking get-go.
Yeah, she had problems that did not involve League of Legends.
Well, that's very true. But yeah, it was kind of a sad affair. Anyway, moving on to some odd particular piece of news. Super Mario producer for Mario Odyssey has finally settled the debate on what Toad actually is. And what is that thing on his head? Is that
a mushroom?
Is it a hat, or is that actually part of his head?
Do mushrooms have hats?
Yeah,
Well,
but if you watch the Super Mario Brothers show,
Yeah, if you watch
Right, it was a hat.
you could see he took off his hat and like wiped his forehead a number of times.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
or he could have had removable hair. Ha ha ha.
Well, according to the producer, and is now apparently considered canon, that is actually a part of his head. In fact, this came from a round of. Go ahead.
What was that? You said
Grammar?
something.
What?
And you stopped saying something.
Did I?
Well,
I was going
anyway,
to say, so it's not.
No, it's
It's
not
not
a hat.
Not a hat.
It's his
Not a
head.
hat.
He
That
is
is
a
his
fungus
head.
man.
In fact, there were several questions that were
wow.
asked, and some of these are absolutely brilliant. Besides Toad's head, they also asked about Mario's belly button and
What?
Mario's nipples.
Why?
What is?
And
Because when he doesn't have his shirt on, he has nipples but no belly button.
right.
So like,
Well, they-
Has nipples,
why?
but no belly button.
My guess
But-
is they're all mushrooms somehow, all of them.
Right. Now, why people are paying attention to this, I have no idea. And then finally, they asked the infamous question about what is going on with Palutena and Princess Toadstool, to which he replied, "Let's let their business be their own." So, brilliant.
Okay.
Wow.
For Rule 34.
right,
Let the fan fiction people take care of that.
right.
They do that already.
Yeah,
But-
true.
Hey, at least we know a little bit more about Toad, and I thought that was brilliant. Absolutely
Probably
brilliant.
Can we just call him Phallus Head now? I mean, that's what that is, right? This Phallus guy. Hi.
Right, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Mushroom head.
Way to go, dickhead.
He's like, that's my
Man,
brother.
Right.
I was going to say, I hear that a lot.
Now, Veg, I have to bring you up here. There was an interesting piece of news from one of your favorite games going on here, Eve Online.
Yes. So I think it's the 6th or 7th Keepstar has been destroyed, and I got to kill it.
Well, there you go.
And the thing was worth 327 billion ISK, which I think roughly translates to almost $12,000 in real life currency, or a bit more than that.
So you have $12,000 now.
I wish, God,
He
that'd be.
destroyed $12,000. That's
Yes.
really, yeah.
Do you
I
didn't pick it up?
honestly wish you
The hang
could.
just crashed.
Did you get all that ISK then, or?
No. It's just basically it's just a giant E-pin stroke on your Z kill boards. But the thing was, I got to watch it blow up, and it's kind of interesting to watch that when the game slowed down by 90%. Because there was
Wow.
Dilation, yeah.
Yeah,
time dilation is fucking for real. And it's scary as shit when you have at one point 4,000 players in the same line. It's just or in the same world, or not world, but universe.
Right.
It's scary because not only were there smart bombing bastards on top of the gate, I got through all that on top of all, I had a nullified cloaky ship, meaning that I couldn't be stopped by bubbles. Bubbles prevent you from warping. and I was cloaky, so I could hide. So basically, I just shot at it like 4 or 5 times and ran like a little girl, and then I got watch a watch.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
First of all, I was basically I was one of the very few who were not in one of the alliances. So, guess what? If they saw me on Battlefield long enough, they just blat me. And they had the power to do it. They had over 100 super carriers.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
What, blaming them and blowing me up?
Yep, I would if I had the power.
Yeah. Thank
But I
God you
don't.
don't, because I would kill you regardless. So
I was in a little POS mining ship. It's like worthless.
I remember you played for like a week and you're like, oh, fuck this game, and you quit.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible. You're just impatient as shit.
Uh,
If you literally would have stuck to what you did back then and still kept playing, you would be almost in the same position as me.
yeah.
You know, while I haven't really played a lot of EVE Online, every once in a while, a very big epic storyline post gets put on Reddit that chronicles like the civil wars and everything that's been happening. It's very fascinating. Like it happens over a long period of time, but there's so much politics in that game, especially because we have that unique element that that the in-game currency can actually be translated to actual real world money. And it's really cool to hear about all this stuff. So that's kind of cool to get that update kind of indirectly what's been happening.
Oh yeah, and one of the interesting thing is a lot of people don't understand that there's very little NPC interaction. It's almost all player generated, especially where I'm at. That's why there's so much drama surrounding that game because all the drama is created by the people. And right now there's a giant war stirring up. This was just one of the things that's going to start it. So we'll see what goes on down the road, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be part of it. So, yay!
Hey,
there you go. That'll be fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to a reoccurring thing this week. It would seem that Mr. Donkey Kong himself is back in the news, this time arguing against the claim that Mr. Billy Mitchell has falsified his world record attempt. So what's going on here is supposed evidence has popped up that says that Billy Mitchell, who holds the highest score in Donkey Kong.
No. He had the record at one point.
Well, yes, at one point. He grew famous as a result. We're talking early arcade days, right? Well, evidence had popped up that showed that he was playing the game on an emulator, thereby cheating and falsifying his score, basically, right? Fraudulent stuff. Well, he then finally broke his silence about this whole thing, saying that the film footage that is out there does not show the entire story. He says, I now contend that if he gets the original tape or gets the original room shot, he will see that what I say is true. I am not disputing what he says, which is interesting. What I'm disputing is the fact that I want him to have the original tape, and the fact of the matter is that the original footage was given to Twin Galaxies. Twin Galaxies has it or should have it, and if it's anywhere other than Twin Galaxies, that's a real problem.
Yeah, the complaint that he has is that the footage is showing the MAME emulator. We talked about this last week because the MAME emulator has the bug in certain versions where things load weirdly, differently from the arcade.
Yeah, the
and he's not disputing that. He's just saying that wasn't the game.
Right. His record, according to him, stands from the
other side. The other side has argued if what Billy Mitchell's saying is true here, then they would have known for over a decade that this bug existed. They would have had to reproduce his gameplay pretty much pixel by pixel to get the same score.
Right.
I mean, it's possible in MAME, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. And there'd have to be like a really big conspiracy about this.
Yeah, big cover up.
So my question is, was there emulators back in the 80s for this shit?
Not at that time.
This was not back in the 80s. No, this was 2010.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, how the
2010.
I was going to say, how the fuck is there emulators into like 1984?
Yeah,
No,
his his original rise to fame was literally off an arcade, in the old tape camera that was filming it. But yeah, this record, not so much. So yeah, it's interesting. And of course, this isn't the first time that we've brought up these contested claims to these world records. So it's kind of interesting. A lot of things stirring in the world today.
He's doing a lot more than Ted Rogers at this point. At least he's willing to actually say, hey, wait a minute, I can produce proof, rather than Ted Rogers saying, well, guys, Activision said it was valid. That's totally why. Believe me, please. And then much better. So we'll see. I'll reserve judgment until I see it. But I feel that if because you're playing on an emulator, especially back in 2010, the times you're going to be off, regardless, regardless of even if you're able to cheat or even tacit, you can still have timing issues and a whole bunch of things that make it irrelevant compared to those who have played the actual physical hardware. But at this point, other people have beaten it on actual physical hardware, that score. So I'll reserve judgment. And if he wants to, then he can actually totally probably beat it if he is willing to go out of his way to prove it. So.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be interesting to see what comes of it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, and then Mr. Ron Klee posted up an interesting little port that seems to be coming.
I'm actually excited about this. Sega on February 27th will be releasing Puyo Puyo Tetris.
What the hell is that, and why should we care?
That is a very popular puzzle game that involves the two games that are mentioned, Puyo Puyo and Tetris, and they're porting it to PC. Previously, these were on the major consoles, including the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. I'm pretty excited about this. It's kind of they weren't expecting them to do this, and now all of a sudden here it is.
Yeah, no, it kind of came.
And can I make a confession?
Mm-hmm.
I've pre-ordered it.
Oh, Ron Klee.
Yeah, but that's a rare occasion because the game's already been proven to be solid. That's a different thing.
And the company that's doing the conversion is known to make kick-ass console to PC conversions, not this, not the kind of crap you see out of like No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
watch it be like the worst game imaginable.
Oh, no.
To try to kill Ron Klee's hopes here. No, to be honest, if there's one old school former console company that I've really noticed has actually cared about PC, it's definitely Sega. Because I was a Sega fanboy when I was a kid, and then they got out of consoles, and then they started making PC games, and that was at a time when, or just games in general, and that was at a time when they didn't really make a whole lot. And I've noticed lately they've been actually going out of the way to make good PC games. And nowadays, anybody that actually wants to focus on PC, I'm all for it. So I'm really happy about that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you can pick up any of the Sonic games, or you can try and find them. But any of the old ports, they still work beautifully.
Well, Sega has released a bunch of their older games into the Steam library, so you can pick those up, which they're more or less just emulated ports. But
interestingly enough, the ones on Steam that they've released, they encourage people to mod the ROMs. They
really?
The emulation. Really? Yeah, that's one thing I thought was really unique about that.
Fantastic. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so people have been taking advantage of that. So I'm just really excited to see this stuff, and hoping that other, developers like Squaresoft and others, get more PC oriented in the future. So here's hoping.
Well, and that's actually a great segue into a piece of news that I have brought up only very briefly. Square Enix just dropped a excuse me, I lost my train of thought here. They dropped the what do you call it?
Bass.
God damn it!
Yes.
Yeah.
Dropping the bass.
That's a meme, I think.
That is a big meme.
Maybe.
There it is. They just dropped a benchmarking tool. I don't know why I completely lost that train of thought. For Final Fantasy 15. Because what they've done is they've completely upgraded the entire game to run full 4K resolution natively, and then it gets scaled down based on your settings.
Oh wow!
Right.
Huh.
So if you run this benchmark. It gives you a rating very similar to PC Mark or something to that effect. And then they listed what scores are relevant to general performance. I got a 4,000 score, about 4,500 score, which is actually general use or normal settings or normal performance is what they considered that. If you can get over 10,000, that is your highest performance rating. Now, granted, I'm in a Ryzen 7 with a 1080 Ti, and I've got general performance. So this game is going to be very intense to run. Now, I did get a very solid 40 to 50 frames per second, no stuttering, no real issues. So the game is, at least according to the benchmarking tool, very decently put together. But it kind of makes me wonder just how powerful this game really is. If you guys are looking for it or you're curious at all, you can head over to the FinalFantasy15.com website, benchmark.finalfantasyxv.com. And you can run it for yourself. It's out there, and it is crazy good. So
I will have to try that.
You know, actually, that brings up something I read about this week. Actually watched a video on. Are you guys familiar with Gamers Nexus?
Yes, actually.
They brought up that one of the recent videos this week. They ran through that particular benchmark, and they found that their that benchmark tool, that engine, was rendering Hairworks models way off screen. Even models that would take 7 minutes to scroll to. It was rendering a bunch of stuff that was not appearing on screen. And they reached out to Square, and they confirmed it's a bug. So there might be a patch in the future to that tool and to the engine that can speed things up.
Yeah, maybe that's what was dropping my score. That'd be interesting to run again.
That would seem like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
did you have a 1080 Ti?
Yeah.
We're gonna render that bug that's 1,000 miles away.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
My computer.
It was beautiful. I was running it in 4K. I tried to max out all the settings in the benchmarking tool, but I didn't get the best score. I just got normal performance. So
just like you, Show, you're just a normal guy.
Pretty much.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't call him normal.
Well, yeah, very little of consequence.
Normal's overrated.
I'm on a GeForce 1050 because my old video card was 10 years old and I needed something new. And eventually I'll get a new one after the cryptocurrency market kind of dies down.
Yeah, but
Is
the
that the one
1050
that I
is a
have
nice
all my
card.
bits?
It's nice. It still runs everything I play. So, but the high end stuff, I do kind of miss it. I do kind of miss turning things up. So,
Hey, can I make a quick suggestion to you and Ron? You need to make a game called Cryptocurrency of the Necrodancer.
Oh, Jesus.
and somehow make it so, like, as you play the game, it mines crypto and sends it to you and me, because I thought of it.
Oh yeah, I like a little kickback too. Yeah, why not?
When you said crypto, the currency of the Necrodancer, I thought you were going to say make a mod that changes the gold to cryptocurrencies.
No, well, that too.
Ooh, even better.
That might have been.
I mean,
That's maybe a bit more feasible.
In all fairness, I could talk about it later, but you could theoretically take score runs in that game, and that is what adds on to the total amount of currency in the market.
Yeah, you
So
could basically blockchain the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God. That would be cool to watch, actually.
Ryan Clark would be crying right now.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Up next, we got an interesting little game announcement from the creators of FTL, which personally is impossible for me to beat. But yeah, great game. They announced a new game coming February 27th called Into the Breach, which should be very, very cool. It's definitely still very much their art style.
it's like a tactical.
Yeah,
Tactical
it'll be
game.
interesting to kind of see. This is coming on Steam, GOG, and the Humble Store. So keep an eye out for it.
I saw a good meme of it said, like, finally approaching the Rebel flagship, but it was a shot of the Tesla in space.
Of course. More Tesla memes. I like it. All right, and then
I think the best one of those that I saw was a 4-panel comic where Elon Musk coming out of the SpaceX buildings like another successful day, and he walks out to the parking lot, and the parking lot is empty, and he looks up and says, Oh, right.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
I just saw one on Reddit. It was I think it was like breaking man doesn't ask for directions. And so, that's what I read. Oh, they're all good.
They are good. All right, so Penth, you brought up another Destiny 2.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about them. I'm going to stop
come
posting
on.
these. The short version is that Bungie doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with Destiny, and
I'm
they're
done.
never going to get their players back. And they keep saying that they're going to do things. We're listening, guys. We're listening to your feedback. We're listening to your feedback, and we're going to make changes to make everyone happy. So they have a Valentine's Day event, which is supposedly going to be better. They have a knockout list for the gear, so like you won't get repeat gear until you've gotten all the gear. And the loot boxes they're gonna give you event loot boxes along with your regular loot boxes. Like they're making some of the changes, but it's way too little, too late. I haven't played for months. I don't give a shit anymore.
Well done, Bungie.
I noticed a lot of people have been playing it. It was just, when it launched on Twitch, everybody was in on it, and then some of the people that play it regularly don't play it anymore.
No,
So,
it's just not like it's not
hype.
interesting anymore.
Yeah.
They aren't adding stuff. There aren't like good build. Like it's not like Diablo where you get that last good piece with best stats or whatever. It's like once you have a couple parts, you just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, it's bad, and the new raid doesn't mean jack fucking shit. It's a pain in the ass to grind the new light level just for no reason. You know, PvP is just, it's just they fucked up. It's basically it's a glorified expansion of Destiny 1 with new history.
And they're adding a second big expansion later this year after the first two little expansions that people paid in the deluxe edition to get, and then the next one's probably going to be shit too. So
The first one, the first expansion is useless. It's just Jesus tap dancing Jerry Mosif. It's terrible.
I really have to wonder though, is this Bungie that's really doing this, or is this their parent company?
You can't
Bungie.
always blame Activision though. Like this was from the first one.
You can pretty easily.
Well, it's a Bungie game. They're the ones developing it.
Right.
Now, Activision may have told them this is how you're going to do some stuff, and then they had to listen. But in the end, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. I spent the money that I had gotten in Blizzard from all my gold mining in Warcraft on Destiny 2. Like, oh, it's getting good reviews on console, and you know, it's Bungie. Bungie makes good games, and what else am I going to spend it on? Loot boxes?
Right.
Well, I probably would have been better off buying $100 worth of loot boxes for Overwatch or Hearthstone or something. So
sounds like they consulted EA before Battlefront 2 released.
for sure.
How do you make a good game? Well, what you do.
Yeah, pretty
The
much.
intent is to provide a sense of accomplishment.
Oh yeah. By the way, I don't know if we talked about this, but they're adding loot boxes back to Battlefront 2
Yeah.
probably.
Well, yeah, it was never a permanent thing. It was always a temporary removal.
Well, they
Yeah.
wanted people to accomplish things. I mean, it's obvious, right?
Right.
I haven't accomplished
Did they ever
anything.
hit 1 million downvotes, or did they stop?
They hit a million.
I think they
Yeah.
hit a few million downvotes.
Yeah, they shatter that record pretty hard.
That's
Wasn't
good.
it like at one point like 3.5 or something like that?
I don't remember, but it was terrible.
I only remember them having like 300,000.
Jesus.
Oh no, it shot
Let me
up
go
shortly
back
after
to
that.
Yeah.
When it became viral,
Yeah,
it just shot up.
They got just
Oh.
dunked on.
Yeah, I never log in, but I wouldn't download
No,
it.
sorry, it's negative 671,000.
Yeah, I just loaded it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Jeez. But the previous next most downvoted was at like negative 20,000. So that's a huge,
That's like-
it's a huge difference.
It was
like a-
ridiculous. Yeah.
That's like a Ted Rogers score difference. You see.
Right. Yeah. Shouldn't be possible, but
Nope.
No, guys, if you look at the footage.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you just look.
So
So anyway, let's move on to some D&D news, something that's very, very poorly covered in some of our shows. And we're making attempts to fix that. Old Spice is creating a new playable class.
Wait, what?
What?
Should I say that again? Should I say that again?
You should
Say
say
it
that
again.
again slowly.
Old
so that I can
Spice.
understand you.
Old Spice.
Old
Your
Spice, the
flow.
deodorant brand.
Yes.
Okay.
is creating a playable class in D&D.
I will only accept it if it's Terry Crews.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it gonna be like a Terry Crews?
God, I only hope so.
You can be whoever you want to be. For those of you wondering, it's for 3.5 or Pathfinder. Although they've been told they should make a 5e version of it.
I do find this particular class, I've read some on it, it would be very bad in Pathfinder. In my opinion, I don't see that working out.
I think it would just be bad in general. It needs some major adjustments. Like, for example, the level 17 class ability. Essentially, the gentleman gets a haircut. That's what the class is called, the gentleman. You think, oh, okay, so he has a new haircut. You know what this haircut does? It gives everybody else in your party a level for free.
Oh, wait, what?
I am totally picturing Terry Crews this whole time.
Once the gentleman hits level 17, everybody else gains 1 extra level.
Why?
So if they were all level 17, they're all now level 18.
Why?
I don't know.
Because the haircut.
Cool story, bro.
But the level 19,
there was something about flexing, right?
That was the level 6 or something.
Yeah,
9th level. He gains +5 on all charisma checks as long as his muscles are visibly flexed. His biceps.
Well, he better be careful because if he flexes too much, he's just going to flex right out of the room.
I get that reference.
He'll just play one of his limit breaks. I don't know if you guys get the Slay the Spire reference. Like do a few of those.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Make sure he uses it after flex though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, despite how overpowered that level 17 one was, the level 19 one is 100% useless.
Go ahead.
At level 19, the gentleman earns his MBA and can now solve complex organizational management problems.
What?
He becomes an accountant.
That's his new ability.
Brilliant.
Scary from accounting.
Yeah, it's God.
It's like in the last few levels, they just kind of said, I don't know, put whatever.
No, it's like he's a gentleman. He's ripped. He's well kept. He looks wonderful. Then he turns 19. Then he turns into a 40-year-old balding accountant.
Right.
Yeah,
like
level 20,
sweaty, shirt and everything. It's like, oh man, what a hard day at the office.
Yeah. Goes home, hangs himself with his own necktie.
Is bald. Wait, what?
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Fortnite and PUBG, right? The infamous rivals. Well, it turns out that Fortnite has officially passed PUBG with 3.4 million concurrent players.
3.5.
Okay, well, at the time of this article, 3.4.
3.6.
I believe it is 3.6.
All right, you know what? Let's just keep adding.
Back down to
numbers.
3.5.
Yeah.
Is Fortnite a completed
It's like
game,
Bitcoin.
What was that?
What's that?
Is Fortnite a completed game, or is it in EA as well?
No, it's completed.
Yeah, it should.
Because I'm pretty sure
PUBG
PUBG is like in early access. So
No,
maybe
PUBG didn't launch, but they have a lot of problems. For example, they are still putting cosmetic items as renders, and it slows the shit out of the game, and no one gives a shit. And so you get to an area, and sometimes the guns haven't loaded yet, but there's fucking jean shorts on the ground that you can pick up.
So is PUBG now the new "Can your computer run Minecraft" meme?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I remember a while ago, a few years back, one of my friends built himself a $10,000 gaming computer, and the first comment was, "Can it run Minecraft though?"
Yeah.
So it seems like PUBG is going that way.
Yeah, that's sadly pretty accurate.
Very
Honestly, the way I picture it is, I was gonna say the way I picture PUBG is that it was a great kind of beta into that kind of genre. It was the first one to pioneer it, but then Fortnite came in and they cloned PUBG, the battle royale mode, and they've knocked it out of the park. It looks way more polished. It has some interesting elements they borrow from the main game, and it looks, obviously the big off-putter to me is, the look, but you kind of get past it once you kind of get into the gameplay mechanics. So it's very interesting. And then what also helps is that it also performs way better than PUBG. So it's very interesting. And we'll see if PUBG will go the way of H1Z1. It's kind of,
oh, geez. With how popular it is, it looks like it. Right now, it's getting mixed reviews on Steam. Pretty much half and half, negative and positive at this point.
Interesting.
The first review is more like Chinese players hacking grounds.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
yeah.
the
I
problem.
mean,
Yeah,
There's been a couple Twitch guys that got in trouble for that too. Just getting so frustrated with all the Chinese players, they just go off in this rant. And
Yeah.
it seems extremely racist, but it's really not. You know, like, oh, these fucking Chinese players, you know, because people literally want the two different servers. They don't want the North American and the Chinese servers together. And I don't blame them. Like, I've watched a couple streams with the Chinese players. Just holy shit, fuck that. It's
Yeah,
just it's bad.
I heard something that they were gonna region lock China.
That's what they're asking for. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what they keep asking for.
I don't play PUBG, so I don't actually know anything.
Oh,
yeah, I don't either. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't,
One of
I
those
don't
guys.
either. I just know about it because of how many friends I know that play it, and they are so fucking done with it because of the Chinese players.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
personally, I think they should just do it. I mean, what's gonna happen? The 1.6 billion people are gonna have no one to play with.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
But even if you like take a 1% of that and say that's the gamers, that's still like 1.5 million.
Yeah, that
but
is true.
what's sad is the only way I can equate this, again, I don't play it, is like me going up against a Korean in StarCraft. Like it wouldn't be fair
But
from
it's,
the second I launched the game.
well, but
that's-
it's not
that's
even about
my
their
understanding.
skill. It's not even about their skill. It's about their hacking.
Oh,
Yeah, they-
okay, so that's
it-
even worse.
That Korean player turned on some sort of like the cheating program that gave them
The
all
God
the
mode.
resources you needed in StarCraft 2. Yeah, that'd be the
Okay,
yeah.
so
I actually made a mistake. 16 million, not 1.6 million. So
okay, well
no
that's
excuses.
What are
Yeah.
decimals?
Yeah,
Right.
decimals.
And then finally, we got an interesting piece of news here from Mr. Squiga, which I gotta
Squiga.
say, whatever.
It's like
Hearthstone.
Sega. It's Sega.
Squiga.
Squega.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or if you're more recent, Squigga.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh.
little whoosh.
I'll think. I gotta record that voice. That'll be my intro now. That's Squiga. It's so nice.
I like it.
I think you should do the Harmony one from
Oh,
well,
I tried. It's tough.
You have to know that Penthier is our man of 1,000 voices, Mr. Bob Ross himself.
Yes.
Even.
I do
Bob-
voices.
Hang on. Do you say voices and then say Bob Ross?
Yeah, he can do a
Yes.
fantastic Bob Ross.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, we're gonna do a little bit of Bob Ross tonight. Just gonna do some happy little gamers. A couple of happy little
wow.
gamers here. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents.
It's freaking
I've been told I
awesome.
do a decent Kermit, but I don't know.
Veg is a happy accident.
That is true, actually.
It was a joke, but it has just gone way off.
Way
the deep.
too far. So we have sadly a shutdown of another brilliant gaming company. What's going on here?
Well, I ran into this yesterday on Slashdot. It's one of the many RSS feeds I read, and it's Mayfair Games. You may know them for Settlers of Catan, or however you pronounce that. I've always
Oh,
heard it.
Settlers of Catan?
Catan, yeah.
Yes,
And many other very well-known board games are shutting down after 36
Oh,
years.
I
And
love
the,
Settlers of Catan.
the biggest tidbit we have that pretty much the announcement came down to a Twitter post, which states, today we announce after 36 years we're closing our the doors. Asmodee North America has acquired all assets of Mayfair Games, including the Lookout Spiel product line. This is not an easy decision, but it was necessary. We want to say thank you for all your support over the years. So they have closed their doors, but sold all of their assets, everything, their intellectual property, everything to Asmodee. So at the very least, those had what they produce has not died off. It's gone to another company, which they do care. So here's hoping that they could continue that legacy.
I was
Yeah,
going to say
and
they do have a decent reputation. You
Well,
know,
and they,
so-
they
That's
did
good.
sell Catan to Asmodee back in over like 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's not like these games are going to go away, hopefully, but there won't be new games that are awesome like that, probably.
yeah.
Actually,
It's really-
Squiga,
Yep.
oh, sorry. I was going to say Settlers of Catan was one of the games I wanted to play with you and however many other people on Tabletop Simulator. That was one of the games I was
Oh,
looking
man.
forward to play
You
with you
can
guys.
actually play that on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
hell
can.
yeah.
That's how I
Yeah,
first played.
I didn't know that was there.
I thought
It's
the
there.
only thing that you could
They've
do in
got
Tabletop
everything.
Simulator is flip the table.
Oh no, there's everything. There is any board game you can think of, they probably have.
They even have fucking Warhammer in there too, like Warhammer 40K
Yeah.
part.
Oh wow.
And like
Really?
26 different variants of Secret Hitler.
Is there a section where you like spend 10 hours painting your figurines for war?
Yeah.
Yes,
Caterpillius.
you have to actually paint them in real life. What the people do is they 3D scan them into the
Oh my god.
into the game.
Wow.
Of course.
I
pretty cool.
bet Caddy's all up in that.
You know, the beautiful thing about Warhammer players are they are probably the most obsessive gamers I've run into in
Wow.
Well,
ages.
when you drop $40,000 onto a fucking game, you better be obsessed.
Well, right. Yeah.
Which is
it's-
why people are obsessed with Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
What?
relevant.
Yeah, they've got everything on Tabletop Sim. It's great.
That's crazy.
That's pretty
So
cool.
that's all I've got for news, of course, unless
How about
you guys
some as we speak, live esports action in the Overwatch League. The Stage 1 finals is currently taking place between the London Spitfire and the New York Excelsior. New York has a 1-0 lead and are leading on Oasis. I'm actually watching it on my second monitor here. So.
Wow.
But yeah, they
So
dominated
distracted.
dominated on Junkertown, and they're up pretty good on Oasis.
fantastic.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Going over to LOL Esports, top 4 right now, Echo Fox and Cloud9 are tied for first. Team Liquid is third, but you know that won't last. They're going to have to lose a spot before the season's over. And 100 Thieves currently is in fourth. TSM Counterwatch Gaming tied for fifth.
Ouch.
So hang on, am I missing something? Last time I remember Overwatch having a tournament, there was countries.
Oh
Now
yeah,
it seems
oh
like
that's the
it's-
Overwatch World Cup. That
Oh,
still
World
is the
Cup.
thing, but the
I
Overwatch
see.
League is a
I
brand new
see.
thing that started at the beginning of the year with
I
actual
see.
teams that have city representation.
I
even though all the
see.
games are played
I
in
see.
Los Angeles.
Okay.
You know, with the Winter Olympics on right now, I'm very curious as to how long it'll take until esports make it into any Olympic event.
You know,
Really wonder-
I would have
reminds me.
said that was never going to happen, except for the fact that I found out a few years ago that trampoline was an Olympic sport. So fuck
Trampoline.
it.
It's part of gymnastics, basically.
But still, it's trampoline, man. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
I was pretty good at that.
Mom jumped on it, you douche.
In all
anyway.
fairness, trampoline was really cool. It looks
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
the
cool,
Winter
though.
Olympics. I'm going to post a picture in the
That
Discord.
reminds me, I actually do have a little bit of news coming out of Intel Extreme Masters.
Ooh,
Um,
I am.
The winner of the StarCraft 2 tournament in Pyeongchang
Pyongyang.
Yeah.
was a Canadian Zerg player,
No,
Sasha Hostin.
no.
Yeah.
Huh.
A
Canadian?
Canadian female.
Eh?
A Canadian?
A Canadian female.
female.
Yes.
One at
goes by the
IEM.
name Scarlet. One IM StarCraft 2.
Oh, Scarlet. I know Scarlet. I've watched
Yeah.
her play a few times.
So she will
Oh, wow.
likely be going to Katowice, and
That's crazy.
that'll
Good
be
for her.
happening in a couple weeks.
That's how
Wow,
they take over the
fantastic.
world. They're nice, and then they just start dominating every sport.
I've never trusted Canadians. Anybody who's that quiet and lives that close cannot be trusted.
And
You
with
better
that,
start
maybe-
talking, Mr. Attention. Grabber.
I'm in Minnesota. Okay, I am next door neighbors. I know what they're up
You're
to.
not a next door neighbor. You're on the front line.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hang on,
We
I need
are-
to look up. I need to look at where Minnesota is in relation to where I live.
We are
It's
southern.
southeast of you.
That's,
It's going to be
that's the
southeast of
first
you.
place you're taking over, right? When you
Pretty
guys are
much, yeah.
No comment.
No comment.
Actually, we're pretty far away. You're below Winnipeg and Ontario. I'm in Alberta,
Correct.
northern
Oh,
Alberta.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
I'm-
you're a
I
ways.
I would be above Montana.
Yeah, you're.
I don't
you're
know the
you're
US
a ways
states.
away.
So you're
Oh, then
southeast
you would
of
get to invade our favorite other co-host who never comes on anymore. But
Oh,
Other
you mean
adventures and
you mean the star of his own podcast?
yes,
Right.
and likes to spread his booty cheeks.
Yeah, we're
Hang
not
on,
going to
what?
go there. We're not going to go there.
I'll just say
Well-
cool story and just gonna.
We'll talk about him off.
Talk
the
about
show.
Mr. Gage Weston, but you can Google that in the meantime.
Pretend
do
my pretend my camera didn't crash on my phone. So
Good idea.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Any more news?
I didn't realize the Winter Olympics were going on. That is
I didn't either.
How about
actually.
that guy that oiled himself down to come out? And make the Olympics? That's the
Wait,
second
what?
time he's done that. The
You
guy
have a
from
greased up deaf guy?
no, the oiled up guy.
The greased up deaf guy?
Olympian.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell is his name? Tonga.
The dude from
Which-
Tonga.
Which country is the
Tonga.
Olympics being held into this
It was-
year?
It's South Korea.
Oh, South Korea.
Yeah.
Young
He's a taekwondo athlete. Pita Taufatufu. I'm not going to
something.
try that.
Yeah.
Bless you.
And he did this in 2016 as well. And he did it again as the flag bearer at the Winter Olympics.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I do recommend. One really cool thing that came out of the Olympics was the opening. Around the opening ceremony, they did a. I almost want to call it a pyrotechnics display, but they did it with drones.
Yep.
Lit up
Oh,
drones in the dark of
Oh,
night, and they made
No
3D
kidding.
shapes in the sky, and it's beautiful. I recommend you guys look it up.
Yeah.
It's if you look for 1,218 drones at a Winter Olympics, you'll find it. So it's probably
Wait,
like the
how
best thing
many?
out of it.
How many?
1,218.
1,218.
1,200.
Yeah,
drones,
we're
yes.
gonna put a link at just.
Holy smokes.
In
That's,
Six Gaming GG chat on Twitch.
That is some fucking coordination.
That is
reminds me of
really
a,
cool, though.
a post I saw one time. It was like the drones used coding and programming to make sure they don't fly into each other. And somebody put like a fake code that said, if going to fall into each other, don't.
Oh, jeez.
That's valid.
I just
Brilliant.
posted a link there. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I
That
don't
is
have
really
to
cool.
show. I'm getting Nancy over here.
Yeah, well, Ron, the reason why you're getting antsy, it's your favorite half of the show. What is this now?
Boom! The playlist. Veg, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing WoW again because I'm a masochist.
You are a masochist.
No, my wife was very nice and got me the expansion that's going to be coming out in 7 months.
You have a wife?
Yes,
I
I
know,
have a
right?
wife.
It's
I was
hard
the
to
best
believe.
man at that wedding.
Yes, he was.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Don't
So-
take that as like a sarcastic, oh, you have a wife. That was genuine curiosity. I
How
feel
would
like
he
that
have
got
one?
wrong.
Oh my god! How would he have one?
Yes, and this
that came
January
up.
was my 5th year anniversary. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Congrats!
5 years.
Thank you.
Crap.
but I've been playing World of Warcraft a lot lately because they introduced with the pre-order 4 of the allied races, which is pretty cool. But guess what? You got to grind your asshole off to get all of them because you
Yeah.
need rep.
Veg,
And I have all the rep.
don't feel bad because I can't even get through all the damn questing in that zone. So I'm still in the middle of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward to getting back into that.
The
It's-
good,
I'm not going to do the allied.
Ron, you are as far behind as I am at least, and it'll
the
take
good
you a
news,
while.
the good news about it is you only have to do it on one character. Like you don't have to keep, every time that you want to make one, you don't have to make like so on and so forth. As soon as you do the quest unlock to unlock them, you have them. It's just getting there's a pain in the dick. And the biggest pain was the Lights Reach and the Argosian Reach. Argosian Reach.
Not surprised.
The assholes, the Argus assholes, those
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, those guys! Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
I
blue
have to
guys
say-
with an octopus on their chin. Don't feel bad.
Oh no! There's 2 of them now. There's the Light Forge Space Goats, and then there's just the regular Space Goats.
Coast to
The
coast.
I missed that show.
Oh, me too.
So the Light Forge are actually pretty broken because they get a very nice AOE, 2.5 minute cooldown AOE, and it does a lot of damage. So yeah, Space Goats
Lots
it
of
is.
damage.
That I've been mostly playing EVE Online as well. Like I said, killed that giant keep star, and then made money. Killed bitches,
Fantastic.
and Then Project Cars 2, and I'm also looking into Monster Hunter because that game looks awesome.
Have you played any of the previous Monster Hunters? Because according to what I've read, now I've never played any of the others. If you haven't played any previous ones, you're gonna kind of struggle to get the hang of the game. It's very grindy. It's very centered towards the previous games. Whereas if you are a previous fan, you're gonna love it.
you like
That's
the
what I've
grind.
heard.
If you like to grind, that's your jam.
Oh, so basically, if it's BDO in monster form, gotcha. So I'm used to grinding shit. I play Eve. Like grinding to me is
True,
nothing.
And WoW, yeah.
And WoW and BDO and Terra with the jiggle physics, but That's
Jesus.
Is that what you grind? The jiggle physics?
He grinds.
That is
yes.
Jesus.
yes.
You just tap A and D over and over again.
You just got a dual face palm from Penthe and myself.
I think it's amazing. It's awesome.
But that's mostly what I've been playing this week.
Oh God. So attention grabbers, save us, please.
I actually can't do that. I recently got a job, so I haven't had too much time to play video games. Most of it's been spent sleeping, working out, which I'm doing nowadays, and
So real life simulator.
Yeah, real life simulator. Squigga, how the hell do you do this every single day of your life? I only do it like weekends, and I'm tired as hell.
Practice. It gets easier, but you never get over it. So.
And not to mention a deep self-hatred.
It's worse than Bennett Foddy.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
Actually,
I'm wearing that shirt right now.
Are you serious? You have a Bennett Foddy shirt?
I bought when I beat the game that it takes you to a place. I got over it.
Yeah.
I got over it.
Nice.
And
That is
I'm
good.
proud of that. That's
Nice.
going to be my biggest accomplishment of last year. So,
But I'm actually kind of happy. This job is really, really awesome. I work at a trampoline park and a VR arcade.
Nice.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
And
Yeah.
most of my job is usually sitting around doing nothing. However, when it gets busy, it's busy. And thankfully, it's a really great place to work. So I don't hate myself just yet. Just one of my coworkers. Most of them are really great, though.
That's nice. As long as we're not dropping names, that's good.
Yeah, no.
That's good.
Their name is Bennett.
Yeah,
Foddy.
anyway.
yeah, Bennett Foddy works there, and man, he's as mean as in real life as he is in the game. So.
Yeah, I made a joke once and he couldn't get over it.
Oh, God.
Bad.
This guy out of here.
Pen,
Invited this guy on. I don't know.
yeah. Penth, what have you been doing?
I'm gonna tell you real quick, and then I'm probably gonna go give a bottle to this baby.
Keeping Child Alive Simulator.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute him over here.
Oh, wow.
You don't have a pillow, do you?
I was about to
Oh
say
my
That's not
God.
very.
that's really bad.
No, so I'm playing Baldur's Gate, which I never played back in the day.
great
I had
game.
it. A friend loaned it to me, and I got through like a few hours of it, and my computer crashed, or the game got corrupted, or something, and I never finished it because I got pissed off. I also have played the Factorio demo, because people talk about Factorio being like, oh my God, it's the best game ever, and it will steal a zillion years of your life, and stupendous, and you should never play any other game. And I don't know, it was okay. It's not really like I can see how it's addictive. It's basically like if you took a clicker game, like the progressive clicker game, and you made it more interactive, right? So like there's a bunch of rocks on the ground, and you can physically mine the rocks, and you can build shit. But then you can build a little mining machine that mines the rocks. And then you can build like a little machine that takes the rocks out of the mining machine and puts them on a conveyor belt. And then you can have the conveyor belt dump them right into the furnace. And then you can build a machine that can take shit out of the furnace and put it on another conveyor belt to build other stuff.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So
You
like,
said Factorio?
yep, it seems interesting. I just I don't have time for it. So
Yeah.
Anyway, that was it, and I gotta go. So
Okay.
night,
Thanks
gentlemen.
for coming. See you later.
Bye.
Don't
you.
don't smother your baby.
Don't
No
shake
matter how
the
much you want
baby.
to.
Right. All right, Squigga, what have you been playing, man?
Okay. Well, a lot of my gaming does revolve around my streams. So I primarily play Crypto Necrodancer, and I actually played off stream quite a bit. Doing a lot of practice, trying to beat speed running. So I do a lot of speed running,
Good man.
and I play the main character Cadence, and I speed run that a lot. That character a lot offline. I'm preparing for a tournament coming up, and I'm trying to improve my PB to something. My goal is top 10 on their speed leaderboards for the game, and I almost got it last night, so I'm getting really close.
Ooh.
And I got just so you know, Ron, I got a seed I died on. I reran it. It was a 538. So
Holy smokes!
Made me really sad. I recorded it just in case. But outside of that, I've been playing. So I started on Iconoclasts on stream. Really enjoy that game. It's a really solid platformer and a good Metroidvania-ish game. It reminds me a lot of I'm trying to think. Half Genie Hero, Shantae.
Shantae,
such a good game.
It reminds me a lot of Shantae in some ways. It has a lot of Shantae-esque puzzles, platforming.
Very cool.
Really fun. And then finally, off stream, I've been playing quite a bit more and more Downwell. I don't know if you guys have played that too much.
Oh wow!
I have played
I've
Downwell.
heard that.
I think I got it for
is
$1.
really, yeah. I bought it over Christmas for both Steam and my phone. It was for $1 on the Steam during the Steam sale and $1 on Google Play Games. And I started playing it one day while waiting for my wife to get off of work. I pick her up and take her home. So I started playing it, and it plays really well on the phone. So I started playing it more, and I started playing it more. I gave it a go on my PC this week, and it's really fun. It's very simple. It's a roguelike. You go down you're going down a well, and it's a lot of fun. It's a mixture of a shooter, a bunch of platformers, and a roguelike.
It is a very fun game. I'm kind of sad that I haven't had more time to play it. I have way too many games, and I can't decide what to play.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yeah.
That's kind of everything I've been up to lately.
I'm excited to see you play that one game, Squigga.
Ah, yes, that one game.
Foreshadowing.
Well, I mean, I'll spoil it. I'll spoil it. Grabber was kind enough to gift me Dark Souls 3. And
Get wrecked.
So,
Oh god.
Yep. Dark Souls 3 is top like 10 of my favorite games of all time. And when I had the opportunity to give him a free copy, I said, "Yeah, well, let's do that."
And I've never played Dark Souls, so
if you don't hate yourself now, you will.
I do like challenging games, so I might just be stubborn.
And just an FYI, use a controller. You'll thank me.
Yeah, use a controller. You're not. Don't be. I'm actually trying to get better at speedrunning Dark Souls 3, but that's a work in progress.
Good luck. Yeah. All right, Runkly.
Well, I actually took a cue from a couple of buddies of mine on Twitter. A couple you might know, one of them, Crowerville and Riot Blob, have been playing a couple of games called Square Cells and Cross Cells. If you've played Hex Cells at all,
yeah,
the same developer, same vibe, different rules, completely different rule set. I did 48 out of 50 of the puzzles in Cross Cells in about it says 1.3 hours, so there's that. It's for me that was pretty easy, but I also like math. It's a mathy game. Square Cells is different. It's more of a it's more of a puzzle game. It does have numbers in it, but it's not mathy.
That's more up my alley.
I mean, this it's from the developer of Hex Cells. If you like Hex Cells, you're going to like these games.
Okay,
straight up. Cross Cells might give you a little trouble if you don't know how to multiply. That's about it.
Dang, I can't play that. Shoot,
Ron, Oklahoma Public Education over
you're
here.
Screwed. If don't play Cross Cells. Get yourself 10. Square Cells. You don't want to play any cross. You don't want to play any Cross Cells. Aside from that, I've been playing a bit of Assault Android Cactus. I'm 19 out of 25 perfect S+ purple levels for all 9 of the androids. I'm going really slow on the rest because I rage when I play that game, and I don't like raging when I play games.
You're nuts with that game. I respect you for that.
So I'm backing off for a bit. I'm just trying to not get pissed off at the game. I did get a no down daily drive, which is pretty challenging to do. It was number 2 for that day, which was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Sublevel 0 Redux because I need to practice, apparently, because Calithon is coming up, and it's right here in San Francisco. And I submitted it. Hopefully it makes it in. I also submitted Death State as well. Me and Squegg are considering submitting a potential race for Necrodancer. So,
even better. There you go.
Speaking of Necrodancer, I've been playing a lot of that. I had a Bard run, Deathless run that I had to kill today because my computer died. That was kind of bad. I tried to save it. I tried for like an hour and a half to save it, and it just didn't happen. I just fuck it. I rebooted. Creeper World 3 Architernal, been playing that, and I'm still grinding out achievements. I did get one of the grindy achievements to win 250 games, so that one's done. But I have a long way to go. It feels like I'm getting faster and better at the game too. Like I've been playing it so much that it's easier. Like most of my games are sub 15 minutes easily.
Nice.
So that's been a lot of fun. And then finally, I've been told that something was impossible, and when I'm told something's impossible, I try to do it.
You're that guy.
So you take a drink.
Ron, it's impossible to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hey, Ron,
And survive.
It's impossible to lick.
That's not a
elbow.
good thing to talk about right now, Show.
Yeah.
Just let us say, not a good thing to talk about, especially with the subject I'm about to get into. Anyway, so you guys know I've been playing Ingress, and I've been playing it for several months here in the Bay Area now. And back in September, I was going out to make a very large field because I wanted to make some big fields up in the hills, the places where people don't play as much. On that particular day, it was September 11th. There was a huge thunderstorm that went through. Like, I saw lightning and heard the thunder at the same time. That's how close it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to make the field, but I did drop one of the blocking links. And that portal, I put one resonator and 2 shields on, so I owned that portal. I still own that portal, and as a result, since it's been more than 150 days, I have a black illuminator, or a black guardian badge, which is one of the hardest badges to get in the game.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So that's my gaming accomplishment this week. I was very happy. I've been nervous all week because I know it's coming up. I never intended for that portal to be that. I thought that was going to go down in like a week. I actually have a portal in Central California that I took when I went to LA in November. I took a portal along the way. I still have that, but I don't need it anymore because I got the Black Guardian. So
Be right back. Going to San Fran.
Yeah. So next stop, the middle of the Mojave Desert. Got it.
Yep.
Maybe I should. I don't live. I mean, I live right in the Mojave Desert. So,
Yep.
Yeah. There you
Update
go.
on the Overwatch League. New York is closing in on a stage 1 victory. They're up 2-0.
Fantastic. Good
very
for them.
nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, for me, I've been playing an interesting game. Tell me, out of you guys, do you guys enjoy Banjo-Kazooie? Because I sure as hell did.
I am not old enough to know that, to have played that game.
I did.
Not my style.
No.
Millennials. I enjoy those sort of games. They're fun little platformers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they're goofy, Well, I picked up Yooka-Laylee, which is pretty much in the exact same vein as, the old sort of games.
Yeah.
It's really, really well done. If you did enjoy those sort of games, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, that sort of stuff, it's right up your alley. And the beautiful thing is it consistently breaks the fourth wall. It makes fun of itself, and it makes fun of the genre. It's
Nice.
brilliant. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. It definitely brings back some of the good old classic memories. Well, getting into that, I decided I need to go back and play some more classic games. So I found a Super Metroid randomizer, which I've been practicing on and getting pretty decent at. Not speedrun worthy yet, but I'm getting pretty good at the randomizer.
Nice.
So I've been doing that. And then I decided, well, we're going full out classic. So I picked up Fallout 2 again. Yeah,
Ooh.
Fallout 2. Took some configuring, but damn it, it works in my resolution. So
Still works on Windows 10.
yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I snagged it off GOG. It took a little bit of playing around in the files, but got it working. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's
a
pretty
lot of
solid. I
fun.
like that.
And that's been pretty much it, honestly. Between work, I don't have much of a gaming life. So
I
Yeah.
feel your pain.
I'm telling you. So
I can now say I feel your pain.
right, exactly. So let's move on to my favorite half of the show. Sadly, it's our final half, but you know what? This is the one that gets everybody every time.
Might
You're
be
gonna
the-
love it
It
because
might
I
be the
love it.
final half, but it's the third half.
Right.
Wait,
That's why
hang
it's so
on.
important.
Half. Wait.
Yep. Hey,
Too many
it's,
halves.
it's Oklahoma math. Okay, just deal with it. Okay, this is how we roll.
We have learned. We have learned.
Yeah. Okay. I grew up in Oklahoma. I get some liberties. Okay.
It's the
So-
third and final quarter of the show.
Right, exactly. So I got a question for you guys based on today's 6 Gaming Roundtable. So for those of you who don't know, this is the part of the show where we bring up a question and we want answers. Damn it.
Damn it.
From you guys, our awesome and illustrious co-hosts, as well as everybody in chat. So please feel free to chime in. Our question this week comes from Mr. Attention Grabber himself, which is very well put, by the way. He asks, what is a game that, despite its many flaws, do you still love?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I can write an essay.
Go ahead.
Can I go
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned I was a Sega fanboy,
Yep.
and as such, I owned a 32X.
Oh,
And
brilliant.
It was, and my favorite absolute game for that was Knuckles Chaotix. And that game has so many little flaws. It had slowdown issues. It had so many things, but I enjoyed it so much. And it's still a solid platforming game. It just has some weird quirks about it that I loved. And I remember playing the crap out of it. Just so much as a kid. I probably put easily over 100 hours in that game because I would just replay and get better and better. And at the time, it was like, oh, 32-bit power, whoa! Because that whole line campaign about it. But yeah, it's still, to me, a great game. I recently just got a hold of it in a 32X, and I want to play it again. So
Fantastic.
I've been wanting to play. So it's that game, to me, I'm going to love it for the rest of my life, despite how awkward it might get.
Yeah, well, and it's funny that you bring it up because I've actually got mine handy. I played it 2 weeks ago, and that would be this bad boy right here,
Yeah.
Super Mario 64.
Mario 64.
It's so brilliantly broken, and yet still such a blast to play. I can't get enough of it.
Have you seen the 0-star speedruns for it?
Oh yeah, it's crazy to watch. I haven't
Damn,
quite
millennials
figured
can't even get every star in Super Mario to win the game.
Actually, to add on to that, Chizo 5 is the undisputed best speedrunner for 120 star, and he almost got sub 138 recently.
God, that's crazy.
Wow.
He topped at 15,000 people showed up in his chat. It was nuts. He almost got it, except he died and he missed 2 Bowser throws at the end.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Oh no!
He's at the cusp of doing it, and Chizo 5, he's nuts. He plays this game all the time, and
I mean, the guy's a brilliant speedrunner. So
and yeah, it just shows how broken the game is.
it is. And if I can learn that back hopping technique, I'd be able to do more. I cannot figure out how to do it. I can do a lot of the other stuff, but
I've only ever played the game on an emulator, but I've actually achieved the back hop. Not reasonably like upstairs or anything like that, but I can hop backwards.
no, well, this is a bit different. This is a bit different.
Yeah, I did it. I did it on accident where he just went, yaha, like 3 times, and on accident once. I went, how did I do that? And so I tried for an hour and I just couldn't do it. So
I think it's because I'm intentionally trying. I can't nail it.
Sure,
But for me, Super Mario 64 all the way. So, Grabber.
Well, this game is actually, funny enough, despite its very many flaws in my opinion, it is #1 on my favorites list of games. And that is Nier, not Dark Souls. No.
Okay.
Nier. You might have heard of the recent sequel to that game, Nier Automata. Came out last year. The original was 2010. Its graphics were not very good for 2010. The combat system in that game was god-awful. But the game's music was amazing. The story hooked me right from the beginning. And even though it was a bit of a grindy game, it's still stuck with me for a long time.
It does have a hell of a reputation, and I've yet to play it.
Yeah, Automata actually came out. Funny story behind that one. I was just opening Steam, and all of a sudden it says Nier Automata 1 week from now, and I'm just like, wait, what? This is a thing that exists?
mind blown.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed, and all of a sudden it was a week until release, so I pre-ordered it, and I powered through the game in like 24 hours, and I haven't played it since.
That's really
Nice.
cool. Wow.
But I got almost all the endings, so I'm fine.
Yeah, that works. All right, Veg.
I'm not sure, honestly. I think the biggest broken one I played at the time that was unplayable was Star Fox 64.
That's such a good game, though.
It is a good game, but it pissed me the fuck off because I kept glitching through shit. Like, it's supposed to have barriers, but the barriers weren't there. And guess what? I fell through shit and died. And then I had fucking Froggy, or whatever that stupid prick's name is. And he goes, I need help.
I would regularly try to kill Frog. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, my God. That is rage-inducing. Just go, oh, hey, I got this. Do a barrel roll. And it's actually an alien roll because you're a fucking idiot. And then you go through the wall, and then you die. Or you get stuck, and then you watch other people die, and then you fail the mission. Just fuck that game.
Wow, rage much.
You
But
don't
it is a
really
lot of
grind
fun,
20 gears. Oh man,
It is.
Oh,
it
that's
is.
funny.
It is fun though. I do miss it. Not really, but would I go back to it and play it again? Hell yeah! The last time I played it, I was like 13.
Yeah.
I wish I was old and I could have played all these awesome video games myself.
Oh man, you don't know what you're missing.
I mean, you still
Yeah,
can. It's just
but I mean,
It is
Not
harder,
money.
but
it's unless I get an emulator, but those are a thing.
well, attention grabber, I got one for you.
What's
She's
that?
not plugged in right now, fortunately. That right there.
Hey,
Oh,
you know
wow.
what?
This guy has like every classic gaming.
I
system.
have a majority of the old consoles.
Hey.
We'll leave it at that.
Dang.
Hey, Sega Saturn high five. I was sitting right over
Yeah,
here.
there you go. See? So, yeah.
Speaking of
64
which, have you beaten ET yet?
Oh,
I haven't-
God. I haven't even plugged it in. I tested it and then I
You
haven't
own
touched
ET.
I do own
that
ET.
game.
Do I need to
Yes.
prove it?
No, I think we're
Yes, I don't
Okay.
believe you. I want to see it. I want
I
to see
need
it.
to get
All right, all right.
He did this on. He did this on
no.
a previous podcast.
my prize.
I must not have watched it. I want to see it.
Damn it.
No, he did it in a pre-show.
Oh, in a pre-show. I see.
I gotta get a hold of that game now.
I got it. Okay. In a shoebox, because that's how you have to keep Atari games.
Yes, yes.
All right. There it
I
is.
find
Right away. E.T.
There it is.
Oh
the
my
internet.
god.
Yep.
This-
Amazing.
I own
it's
it.
not in a landfill.
Yeah, it's not.
We're in the desert.
He
It
owns
does
it. You
work.
could see the look of devastation in his eyes, the PTSD. It's like I own
Yeah.
it.
It's
I
not
mean-
that bad a game.
Well, I do have some redeeming, like Space Invaders.
Okay, yeah.
Space Invaders.
I have some decent games in here.
So I
Um,
actually got that too. I hope my dad was is a hoarder, and he moved finally after being in the same place for 25 years, and he hoarded a bunch of games and consoles. So I got 3 Ataris and some games. Oh yeah, such.
Do you
a
have
good game.
asteroids?
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the roids.
Yeah, I got
Awesome,
some
though.
good stuff. I got Dig Dug, of course.
Oh yeah,
my
no, those
God,
are
I didn't
classics.
even know there
I
was a
have
Dig
some
Dug
good
on
redeeming
20th.
games, and you have to have something to make up for the fact that I own ET.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You could have every single amazing game that has ever existed, and you'll still go, but he owns ET.
Yeah, exactly. You
I need to do
an.
an ET stream. I need to do an ET stream. As a
It's so infuriating, Ron. It's
Oh, I want to watch.
Yeah, the game has some serious bugs. You can work around them.
I don't
I watched the
want to.
speedrun for it.
Ron,
It was
I have
interesting.
the perfect idea. You're affiliated on Twitch, so do a
Mm-hmm.
subathon of ET. Do a sub, and I keep playing for another X amount of time. and
Oh,
then just
God.
get 1,000 subs, and you do 24 hours of ET.
Oh, goodness.
That's brilliant. I like it.
Yeah.
I would say I'd sub to you just to keep it going, but I think I am currently subbed to you.
Yes,
Oh dang! I would. Oh man, I think I'd sub in a higher tier would be an hour. Like I'll go for the $25 tier, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I totally love that.
Yeah. All right. So, Ron, what do you got, man?
Well, both of mine can be called D3.
Uh-oh.
And I kind of have both of these equally because of the older one being Descent 3.
Yeah.
Descent 3 was not a good game in terms of net play. Yet that's the way I like to play it. And yeah, it was I don't know. And even to this day, people don't like playing it. So
Well, maybe they don't like playing you.
Was it just a matchmaking issue or?
no, the net code is actually legit bad.
Oh,
Like you could see a homing missile miss your opponent. Your opponent could see the homing missile miss them, but the game will think the homing missile actually hit.
Ouch.
It's really bad net code.
At that point,
wow.
I think it's just intentional. I think
No, I mean there's legit reasons why that could happen on both ends.
Wow.
But the fact that they happen is pretty bad. So there's that. And so there's that. And then the other D3, of course, is Diablo 3. I'm not talking about the way the game is currently. I'm talking about Diablo 3 vanilla.
oh, yeah, that
and
was pretty bad.
I enjoyed the hell out of Diablo 3 vanilla. And
Really?
I wanted to get all the achievements and I wanted to get into the higher Inferno levels, all kinds of things, and it's like everyone I know hated the game until Reaper Souls came out.
When they fixed everything.
Yeah, but I liked it up to that point. I was alright with it.
I only ever played Reaper Souls, to be honest. I kind of,
You're
but I
not
enjoyed it a
missing
lot.
bad
They
news
changed a
prior.
lot from what I know. I haven't played Reaper Souls, but I did play D3 vanilla right when it came out. And I think the only thing I'm gonna ever pat myself on the back is that a friend of mine and I beat Vanilla Inferno before they they actually balanced it and made it possible. And we spent like 30 hours grinding it, and the Diablo fight took 2 hours to do because one of us would die, run around, res the other guy, they would die. We do like maybe a couple hundred damage to him, and then we just kept dying, round robin, and we did it. And that was probably my crowning achievement in that game. And I played so much I stopped playing. I think around when Paragon levels were in.
Inferno was the difficulty levels after the normal difficulties, right?
Yeah, it was. You have normal, nightmare, hell, and then Inferno. And it got to the point where when you got into Inferno, you had the best equipment. You could be max level and everything, and get one-shotted instantly. No reason.
I think last time I played Diablo, I was Paragon level like 500 and something, and I could solo on Inferno level 5, I think, or something. One of the Torment level, right? Yeah. Sorry, Torment level. I could solo some of the harder bosses on Torment level 5.
So this is how the evolution of Paragon happened. At the beginning of the game, you just got to 60 and you were done. There was only Inferno difficulty. That was it. Then they introduced Paragon. You could get up to Paragon 100 at the time. And I think you got some additional stats along the way, whatnot. But it was like the intent was for Paragon 100 to be as difficult of a grind as getting to level 100 in Diablo 2 was. Now, of course, what was the name of that guy that did the Spin to Win Barbarian?
Oh, I know.
Spin to Win Barbarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually managed to be the first person to get 100. But
shoot, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Hearthstone a lot.
Yeah, he still plays. It begins with A. I don't remember the full name, but basically, and when they did that, they also increased it so that Inferno had 10 different difficulty levels beyond base Inferno, and you could play at whatever difficulty you wanted to. When Reaper Souls came out, they scrapped all that. Your Paragon level became uncapped, and they did something called Torment levels, and you could go through Torment 1 through 6. Eventually, the power glut became so bad they went to Torment 10 and then Torment 13 after that. But yeah,
wow.
It's not uncommon to hit Paragon 600 plus in a season right now.
Yeah.
I was increased to Paragon like 500 or so in one game with like online. I did like a random joining of these guys.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, hey, let's do this. I was like, I'm only level 70. He was like, yeah, no problem. Just stay back. And just boom, level 600. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's insane. How
fast
this level up.
This is
I
fine.
didn't know it got that way. I stopped right when they introduced Paragon levels in the vanilla. And
don't get me wrong, the way it is now is way more fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Like one of my favorite things, though, honestly, is to just sit back and wait for one of my friends in seasons to level up, and then I go bug the shit out of them until I get power level.
That's not you. That's
and then I continue on in the season.
That's Pantherian.
It's whomever. That's how I roll. Maybe I was just taking notes from Penth, but hey, it works.
Maybe you were.
I'm gonna be a bitter old man though. I don't know. I was a hardcore D2 player, D1 and D2, and I don't know. I still have such a soft spot in my heart for both of them. So I don't like some of the things they did with the game. It's still fun to play, regardless. It's still fun to play. So I just
absolutely.
Well, Squig, I have to ask you: are you ready for the game we talked about last week?
Oh,
It Lurks Below.
Yeah, that's right.
By David Brevik.
Right.
No.
Oh, that's the name of the game. I thought you were just saying that it lurks below.
No, the name of the game is It Lurks Below by David Brevik. Basically, Terraria meets Diablo.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It does.
I
A lot
like
of
both
people's
of
lives are gonna go poof.
Oh, not it lurks in the deep. It lurks below.
Yes.
Yeah.
Below.
I'll have to look that up. Definitely. All right. Well, unless anybody else has anything left to say, we'll go ahead and wrap things up today. Nope. Crickets.
You youngins, back in my day, we played Pong.
I
Yeah,
was
what do you
thinking
know
the same-
about Pong?
was
I have
thinking,
Pong.
Yeah, your kids and your games and tutorials back
I
in
know
my
my-
day.
I know
Oh,
my
I
dad
just
used to
grabbed
play Pong
myself.
with my
Oh,
mom.
my-
That was interesting to hear about.
What was it? I actually got into a conversation about a guy about DRM. He was bitching about it. I said, well, sadly, I did say, back in my day when I went to go play Monkey Island, we had to spin a wheel to decode just to be able to log into the damn game to play.
Yep.
Or it was a question where the answer was in the instruction manual.
Yeah.
Page 47, line 6, word 3.
Yep.
Yep.
What was it? I think my favorite though was still Alone in the Dark, where they gave you this small little dictionary that you had to flip through and then match up these two little symbols in it. But
Wow.
I swear to God, the book was like this thick. It was absolutely massive.
Wow.
But-
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think that just to add a quick blurb, I don't know why they reminded me. I think it was one of the first Batman Arkham games. The pirated version had a tweaked bit of code where you had to make a jump, and it was impossible.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they
Arkham
tweaked it
Asylum.
just beyond what you could do. And so so people would come and complain, no, this part's broken, and then the devs will say, no, you just need to buy the game. So
I think what you're thinking of is Arkham Asylum, and there you have to make a jump and glide, but if you
Yeah.
pirated the game, the glide is disabled, and so you just fall into gas and die.
yeah, I think something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool DRM though. I'll give them that.
I
Yeah.
like unique stuff like
So-
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for episode 149 of the Six Gaming Podcast. Thank you so very much for joining us this week. It's just been an absolute blast. Of course, I have to let my awesome and illustrious co-host say goodnight. I would be very remiss if I didn't. So, Mr. Attention Grabber, would you please say goodnight, sir?
Good night, sir.
Word. Veg. Earth to veg.
Toodaloo.
Veg is Earth.
Word.
I don't fucking know. You guys have a good night. Don't do stupid shit, and don't be a dick.
And don't watch the podcast next week.
Yeah, don't. Drugs are bad, okay?
Did I miss something about
No.
the podcast next week?
It's episode 150, man. 150.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I could.
So you might have to jump on next week, definitely.
I will
So-
definitely try. Let's see if work does shenanigans.
Oh, I know it. I know how it goes. Squagga, say good night, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I like games. Good night.
I like it. Well done. Runckley.
So my toenail is like literally about to fall off.
don't
I was
need to
hoping
know
it would
this.
fall off during this episode so I could show you guys.
Oh,
I saw the tweet. I saw the tweet already.
that's
That's riveting.
oddly disturbing. I got nothing.
You just got to pull that thing off at this point, dude.
Yeah.
It's
God.
close.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for episode 149. You guys, I am your host as always, Shosan. Damn happy to have you. Tune in next week. You guys can check us out right here at twitch.tv/6gaminggg. You can check us out on our website, 6.gg, and our Facebook page and Twitter and everything else. It's all out there. Just go hit us up on our website, please.
London won around.
What's that?
London won around. New York's
Oh,
up 2-1.
nice.
Oh, fantastic. So, anyway, thank you guys so very much. Once again, check us out next week. Mr. Runckley, would you please, sir, take it away?
See you, bye.
Bye bye.